Hi everyone, this is Matthew Archambault for Drawing Tutorials Online, and what I want to try to do for you today is to follow up on the one-point perspective demonstration. And I'm going to start off small. This is definitely going to be small on your screen, but I'll zoom in once I get the points like established. And what I'm going to try to draw for you here today is the interior gallery called the Roman Wing. It's new. It's at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and basically it houses a ton of statues. Okay, so basically just drew a column. Let's see, let's get in another column right over here, and another column. I'll explain the perspective in a second. Just hang in there with me. All right, so what we want to establish first is we are basically drawing the inside of this Roman wing. It's a box, and so we're going to treat it like a box, and we're going to try to pull this line, pull where the columns touch the ceiling, and where those two lines touched, I've established a vanishing point. Now I still haven't found my horizon line, but that's my first step to finding my horizon line. So now over here in the foreground there is a little bench. Okay, there's not too many benches at the Met, so I notice each and every one of those benches that they actually do have. So I'm going to pull this line up. I'm going to pull this line up, and where they touch is going to be my vanishing point. Now, I said there's we're drawing the inside of a box, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get kind of the courtyard. That's got to come down. That's got to come up. Now let's get the other side. That's got to come up. That's got to come down. Now basically I know right now this is sketchy. I'm going to make this tutorial a two-part tutorial on two-point perspective. So if you hang in there with me for another minute, it'll start to make a little bit more sense for you. But I just wanted to lay it out lightly first. And I know it's small. I'll zoom in a second. So basically here is 1 point, 2 point. They have to be on one eye level line, because you only have one set of eyes. Okay, and so if I was drawing this, or if I took the picture of this scene, which I did, my head would be right here, and my eyes would be right here, and this would be my body, and my drawing board would be right here in front of me. So basically the reason why it's 2-point perspective is because my drawing board is not parallel with this, it's not parallel with that, it's facing the corner of the room. So I'm going to choose to do it in 2-point perspective that way. Now if we and our eyes always have to be on the eye level line. Okay, so that's one thing that I think a lot of people like when I do this demo, where I actually draw the head. Let's decapitate this person. There you go. So now let's get into the room a little bit more. I know right now it's probably really confusing, but just hang in there with me a little bit longer. So pretty much we've established our points. Now I'm going to get in a box over here, because this box has a statue on it. And the reason why I chose this particular view is because there's tons of these platforms that have statues on them. So it's perfect for perspective. That's got to go there. That's got to go there. This side has to go there. That side has to go there. Now as we get closer to our eye level line, the top of the box gets more level, and further away from the eye level line we get more angled. There's another box right over here. I'm going to manipulate these. I'm going to just simplify them and make them bigger because there's a lot of them. So we've got another one over here, and I'll put tone down next. That's going to go to that point. That's going to go to that point. That's going to go to that point. Now let's zoom in, and let's just forget about the points for a second. Oops. Cool. And let me get this thing on the screen. Now let's get into some tone. Bigger brush. Okay, and how's our opacity? Our opacity is pretty light. So this side of the courtyard is darker. Okay, and so let's get the columns established. Darker columns in the foreground. Now the whole floor of this section, including the platforms and the bench, is going to be in shadow. Beautiful marble floors in this gallery. Okay, so that's our foreground. I'm just going to kind of go over this a couple times. Let's go over the bench a little bit more. Make this darker. And let's get the ceiling, where the columns touch the ceiling, a little bit darker, so we really kind of plow in that scene. Now for the background section, we're going to go a little bit lighter, actually much lighter than that, and let's just kind of establish the columns, but we're going to do them very soft. I'll put some background stuff in a second. And over here as well. Let's just get some negative space in between each column. Okay, let's go back with the line now, and let's get a darker color. I'm trying to work a little bit faster here because I don't want to drag this on too long for you. A long video is not good. Okay, so let's get in more detail now. And I'm going to up the opacity, go in a little bit more of an aggressive line. So the bottom base has to go to that point. This side of the base of that column has to go to that point. Now, basically, let's get in a little statue. So let's say there's like a little torso on that column. I'll shade it. Let's go back and revisit this bench. And let's go back and revisit this. And let me go a little bit lighter actually right now because I want to do a little information in the background and make that a little clearer. So basically we've got a wall back here, and we've got a column, and another column hidden behind this one, and then we've got another column right over here. This corner actually is a column, and then we've got another one right over here. And so corner of the room, far off background. This has to go to that point. This has to go to that point. And so now there's like a little window right over here up top. The bottom of the windowsill has to go down. There's another little window on this side that has to go down to that point. So if I was going to come on in and draw another statue, bigger brush, be a little bit more like an impressionistic painter, lessen the opacity, and we could get in another kind of shape. We're not going to go nuts with this. Make this more of a shape. And let's just establish the whole area in the foreground as being a tad more darker. Okay, so it's slowly but surely starting to take shape, and there's probably, let's throw in another box. Basically there would be like another little platformy thing right here. So if we zoom out, let's just look at the whole perspective drawing for a second. Let's get a darker color. Now this thing has to go there. That has to go there. Bottom has to go to that side. Top of this platform has to go there. And then the top is really going to be a diamond shape. Now the closer this platform box thing is that's going to house a statue is closer to your eye level line, the flatter it's going to get. So let me just up the brush and let me lessen the opacity. Let's just kind of establish and let's put a little head on this. Okay, so I'm probably coming down to the short roads of this part one of this tutorial just because I want to make it a two-parter. So that's got to go there, that's got to go there. Let's just kind of A little bit more detail on this bench. Now, before I do anything else, I'm going to stop soon. Let's just clean it up. Okay, before we go on to part 2, now if you were going to draw someone standing in this scene, their head would be right here, and their body would be here. Okay, if you were going to draw someone way back there, their head again would have to be on the eye level line. Their legs get higher, their heads stay the same. I mean, you might have some variation because maybe someone's 6 foot tall, maybe someone's 4 foot tall, and then if you have a child, they'd be even smaller. But you're not getting variations of 20 feet to 2 feet. It's all within like 4 to 6 feet, most general, humans, and not excluding children here. So that's part 1 of our 2-point perspective scene. And I'm going to come back and really kind of clean it up for you and bring it to the next level.